Hello, everyone. This is the most intelligent and magnificent bird, Beak, speaking to you today. And in today's video, I'm back at it with another Outlanders character review. This time, it's going to be on Gold Mythic Imani. And before we get started, I hope all of you are doing good and staying safe out there. I'm doing good and I'm staying safe for the most part. Now we gotta talk about how ridiculous Imani is, because she truly is ridiculous, and I don't think we should waste any more time. I think we should go ahead and jump into this character review, shall we? Imani, Outlanders. Her trait is fast, her role is a tank, and her allegiance is a member of the Outlanders. Now let's take a look at her stats. Her attack stat is 9,256. Her defense is 20,570, and her HP is 21,599. Now let's take a look at her adrenaline rush. Ineffable, excuse me if I'm saying that wrong, but ineffable. The recharge rate is 66 AP. That's pretty much the standard for most gold mythics. Up to 3 enemies get 10,000 bleed damage for 2 turns. While battling on the defense team, those enemies get 4,000 exhaust for 2 turns. Now, what I'm about to say, you're gonna hear me say it constantly throughout her kit. Well done, Scopely. Well done. If you want people to quit your game, Imani is the perfect tune for that. I'm just saying, if they haven't already quit, we shouldn't be surprised if the player base starts to drop off. Not a huge drop off, but I wouldn't be surprised to hear the player base saying, okay, Imani's done it for me, I'm done. I'm not saying that's for me, that's not what I'm saying I'm doing, but I'm just saying, in your player base, I could hear people saying, you know what, I'm done. I wouldn't be shocked at all if a small number of the player... I can't even talk today. I wouldn't be surprised if a small number of the player base just all of a sudden dropped off because of Imani, and that would be the reason why, in my opinion. There are definitely ways to get around the bleed. That part is not that big of an issue. Unless you are really new to the game, then that bleed is like, you're pretty much going to be done if you get that 10,000 bleed. But there definitely are ways to counter that bleed. That part I'm not like the most worried about at all. But that is a lot of bleed damage for sure. Enough to wipe out a whole team, potentially in those 2 turns, if not 1 turn. The second part, though, this is going to be the big problem. When battling on the defense team, those enemies get 4,000 exhaust damage for 2 turns. And I remember Locke saying, you know, for the exhaust, that's for how much AP that your tunes have. You're going to take that exhaust damage. So, yeah, that's going to be a huge issue. And right there, that second part, especially, probably the first part, but especially that second part is where you're pissing a lot of people off with that, man. That's going to be so aggravating and very frustrating to deal with, because we know how ridiculous Imani's kit is, and it just gets more ridiculous as we go. So yeah, I don't have much else left to say on the Adrenaline Rush. Let's talk about the signature move, Revered Weakness. The initial cooldown is turn 1, number of cooldowns 1 turn, number of uses unlimited. Remove focus and camouflage from up to 4 enemies. This character gets a guardian shield. I honestly don't think this part of her kit is as crazy and ridiculous as her Adrenaline Rush and other parts of her kit that we'll get to. I think this is, I'm not saying this is a bad part. I mean, this is an okay, whatever type of part. But for those that are trying to take down Imani, that Guardian Shield is going to be very annoying for sure, because she's already going to be really ridiculous, real annoying, and just adding that Guardian Shield, it's just going to be even more aggravating to taking her down for sure. So nothing too crazy other than the Guardian Shield potentially. Now let's take a look at Imani's Mythic abilities. Strength, 40% critical hit resistance. Yeah, this is pretty frustrating to come up against for sure. So if you have Imani, or if you're planning on pulling for Imani, I would definitely recommend leveling up Strength. She's just going to be that more annoying. And once again, good job, Scopely. Well done. You want people to quit the game? Imani is the character for that. Well done. Yeah, so Strength is a good one to level up for sure if you're trying to make her annoying to take down. Healing Salvage. At the start of each turn, 100% chance this character heals for 50% of their max HP for 2 turns. Once again, well done, Scopely. You're making this character more and more annoying and aggravating, and you are potentially making people quit your game. Well done. I don't even have to go too much into how annoying that's probably eventually going to be. Healing Salvage, I mean, that's ridiculous. Really overpowered, ridiculous, Let's go on to the next one. My Head is My Own. 50% decap resistance. Again, good job, Scope Lee. Woo! You are doing wonderful. Making this character really ridiculous, wanting players to quit the game. Imani's the tune to potentially do that. Maybe not right this minute, but once people see her in raids and stuff, yeah, people just aren't going to be having fun. Those players, to be fair, are probably already not having fun with certain decisions they've made. But Imani's just going to push them to the edge of, do I want to continue to play? She really is going to have... Alright, we are back. I don't know what happened there, but anyway, let's continue with the character review. Okay, we were on My Head is My Own. Yeah, that mythic ability is going to make people get pushed to the edge of wanting to quit the game. And yeah, so let's move on to the next one. Living Nightmare. At the start of each turn, 100% chance this character gets 60% Halo for 2 turns. Again, good job, Scopely. Yay! You are just making her more and more ridiculous, where people potentially might quit the game. Like, I know I sound like a broken record saying that, but I did warn you guys I was going to say that over and over in this video, because Imani, she's too ridiculous, and honestly, I don't know how in the hell you're gonna kill her. Like, with everything that's in her mythic ability, based off her adrenaline rush, how? We don't know that answer quite yet. She's still quite new, and hopefully that cutoff doesn't happen again, and I do apologize for that. But yeah, like I said, I could see a small number of players just quitting because of Imani, because of how ridiculous and overpowered she is. Now let's go over her specialist skill. Resilient. This character gets 50% to any status resistance applied to them, and an inherent 50% resistance to all statuses to which they otherwise have no source of resistance. Again, nice job, Scopely, creating this character. Yeah, so let me think of tunes that have this specialist skill. Mr. Lou, Gold Mythic Mr. Lou, I can definitely think of. S-Class Trader back in the day. And those are the only tunes I can think of at this moment that have them. Mr. Lou is he's still harder to deal with, but there are ways around Mr. Lou. But how are we going to get around Imani? Just, she's so ridiculous, so overpowered. It's nonsense for her to be like that, right? But I guess she is sort of like the S-Class Trader, and he was a pain in the ass back in the day. So I guess she's going to now be that pain in the ass in the Gold Mythic era. It's not going to be a fun time, folks, for sure. Now let's take a look at her weapon. Imani's Defensive Ceremonial Blade. 40% HP, 35% defense, improved absolute defense plus slow. When being attacked, a 60% chance to reduce the damage to 0 and apply a 20% slow to the attacker for their next turn. AP down on death. When this character dies, all enemies get minus 30 AP. Nice job, Scopely. Woo! You've done it. Not only is her kit ridiculous and OP, her weapon is ridiculous and OP. The fourth part, okay, AP down on death. When is this character gonna die? I don't think anybody has to worry about that anytime soon. So, but if somehow somebody gets lucky and actually takes Imani out, well, there goes your AP. Woo! Whittled down to nothing. So, and in that third slot, improved absolute defense. A 60% chance to reduce that 0 to reduce the damage down to nothing. Plus, you can get slowed for a turn. Great. So, I don't know why you would be a madman and do this, but I definitely would not change the weapon. I would just enhance on the HP and defense. whichever way you want to go, she absolutely has nothing to do with the attack. So all defense and HP to make her tanky as possible. But she's already a brick wall at this point. And that 4th slot is like, how's the character gonna die? I don't, you know, there are several factors into her kit that just, it's gonna be near impossible to take her out. And if you do, you get screwed on your end by losing your AP. So, you know, once again, this is the last time I'm gonna say it, but well done, Scopely. Woohoo! You've made a absolutely ridiculous OP character that is going to have an effect on your player base to the point where that certain player base might never play your game again. And, you know, if that happens, I can't really blame them, because, you know, a lot of people are going to get frustrated, and I definitely know I'm going to get frustrated for sure. And her look is very cool. I will admit that. She does have a cool look, but the character's too ridiculous. And well done, Scopely. For the character you've created, obviously I'm being sarcastic. I mean, obviously, if it isn't obvious at this point, yeah, I'm definitely being sarcastic. Yeah, they've created a mess of a toon, and it's going to be bad all around for those that have to come up against her and that cannot get her. The Mega Blue Whales are going to love this character. Oh, definitely. They're going to love this character, but for the ones that aren't the Mega Blue Whales, they're really going to struggle. And, you know, obviously they don't care too much. But anyway, I don't think I have much else left to say. You guys know how ridiculous Imani is. And that's going to do it for this one. I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by and for your continued support. Or if you're new, welcome in for the first time. All of you are very awesome, and I thank you again. And don't forget to hit the bell and switch on all notifications so you know the second I upload to YouTube. I am Beak, and I'm gonna go fly away back to my nest. Until next time, bye guys.